I just filed. Hey, how y'all doing today? I just filed a civil rights complaint on the Justice Department, asking for the arrest of Miss Judge Kennedy for racism and for the prosecutor of racism and lies, and from the state attorneys are trying to break my mindset in the different courtrooms. The little black ass guy with the beard. I have asked for justice. They know who we are. I've asked for those cameras to not be deleted. Who had their eyes on the quarterback? I have asked. Hey, you laughing? It always got somebody that's laughing over here. Continue to laugh. I'm gonna get what I want at the end of the day. Hey, think I care? I'm on YouTube right now, Ashley, and I hope the Justice Department get to this and the civil rights get to this. It always gonna have funny people on here. I hear the criticism. Because you're gonna always have people that care about their life. That's the thing when you having a fight for something and that people don't care about their owns. Jealousy. But let's get back to the thing because I'm on the YouTube. Right? Let's get back to what we need to get back to. Hey, how you doing? God say, I want justice. I want the Justice Department to arrest Judge Kennedy for treason or racism, and the state attorneys and the security guards for intimidation, the terrorism with intimidation in the courtroom. Why me walking in the courtroom? And I want the IPS worker for participating in it. I'm asking for the arrest of them for terrorism of intimidation. What you got, terrorism and intimidation? Put that together. What do you have? The Justice Department. What do you have? No, I'm just asking. What do you have? What do you have? This her name is Christian. This is her name. I gotta find out your name because I'm trying to pronounce your name right. I'm trying to pronounce her name right. I don't want to just say nobody Miss Christina. I don't want to. You gotta have people name right. So I really gotta look at her name again. Cause I never want to get people name wrong when you're trying to. Cause we don't like when you get your name. Like when Doug Schittemeyer, he got on me for pronouncing his name wrong.
Writes Kristen Clark, and U.S. Attorney for the Middle District of Florida, Roger Clemens. We're here today to announce a major development in the Justice Department's anti-drug law initiative.
I was trying to find out her name. It's hard to find out her name. I'm trying to. Damn, I can't find out your name. I'm mad. I didn't see her picture back up. I'm trying to find out her name. Cause I wanna. It's Christina. I'm trying to get her name right. I know they just don't got all. They got a lot of letters in it. They got a lot of letters in it right now. I know it got a lot of letters. Come on. Let's do it. See this. Come on. What is your name? That picture now. I'm gonna have to research the website and find out her name again. Cause you always want to have somebody's name. You just don't want to blow out a name like, oh. Her name is, I can't screw her name, Miss Christine. Here she go right here. All right. I gotta let her speak. I'm trying to find out your name. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on.
Has no place in our country.
All
The
right.
Justice Department will
I'm trying-
continue to combat the
I'm trying to
red
find
against
out.
families
I'm trying
and
to.
neighborhoods for generations.
I'm trying to.
And we
Come on.
will
Come on.
continue to pursue justice on their behalf. I'm now pleased to turn over the podium to the Assistant Attorney General for Civil Rights.
Come on. I'm trying to. Hold up. I'm trying to find out your name.
Thank you, Attorney General
What's your
Garland.
name?
I am proud to join
Tell me
you
your name.
and U.S. Attorney Roger Handberg for the Middle District of
Oh.
Florida today
This is,
to mark this significant and unprecedented
what is
achievement
Miss
in the Justice
Christina name?
Department's combating redlining initiative. Today, the Justice Department filed a complaint and a proposed consent decree that, once approved by the court, requires Ameris Bank to pay $9 million to resolve our allegations that the bank redlined majority Black and Hispanic neighborhoods here in Jacksonville, Florida. Ameris is a bank with nearly $25 billion in
I'm
assets
in the wrong
that
department.
operates
Just let me
in
listen
9
to her.
states across the Southeast and Mid-Atlantic. Specifically, our complaint alleges that Ameris violated the Fair Housing Act and the Equal Credit Opportunity Act, 2 federal civil rights laws that prohibit discrimination in lending. Our analysis found that from 2016 through 2021, Ameris failed to provide mortgage lending services to majority Black and Hispanic communities in Jacksonville. Among other things, we found that
I think that's her. Is it
1/3
her?
of all majority Black and Hispanic tracts in Jacksonville,
She the Justice
Ameris
Department
did
in
not
Florida.
obtain a single application over the entire 6-year period. But peer lenders
But she the
did
civil
receive
rights, though.
applications in these areas.
She the civil rights.
We also allege that Ameris has never operated a branch in a Black and Hispanic neighborhood in Jacksonville, even though majority Black and
She the
Hispanic
civil rights.
census tracts account for nearly
But it didn't show her.
20%
It
of
didn't
the
show her
bank's
name
service
though.
area. Exhibit C
It didn't show
in
her
our
name.
complaint shows Ameris's
Yeah.
18 branches in Jacksonville, and the green dots depict each mortgage loan application that Ameris received from 2016 through 2021.
So she the civil rights.
As you see,
Thank
the green dots show a majority of applications were from majority white neighborhoods south of the St. Johns River. In contrast, there is a significant lack of applications from the majority Black and Hispanic neighborhoods shown in the red and orange shaded area. Particularly downtown,
Where you from? My name is
over
Hugh.
80% of residents are Black or Hispanic. Our statistical analysis revealed that Ameris's peer lending institutions were receiving applications in majority Black and Hispanic neighborhoods at 3 times
She's
the
civil
rate
rights.
of Ameris. Our analysis also found that
I gotta
Ameris
listen
did
to
not
something.
make sufficient efforts to reach neighborhoods of color. In fact, mortgage bankers failed to serve those communities, and marketing and outreach efforts were directed towards white communities. And finally, we allege that Ameris knew of its redlining risk in Black and Hispanic communities in Jacksonville for years, but it did not take any corrective action to address the risk and reach out to communities of color in Jacksonville. As Attorney General Garland explained, there is a direct connection between historic redlining and modern day redlining that highlights the devastating effects of race discrimination that becomes entrenched in a community and can reverberate across generations. Redlining has a significant impact on the health and wealth of these communities. Home ownership has been one of the most effective ways that Americans have built wealth in our country. And when families can't access credit to achieve home ownership, they lose an opportunity to share in this country's prosperity. The gaps in homeownership rates contribute to staggering gaps in family wealth. The median wealth of a Black family is $45,000, and a Hispanic family, $62,000, compared to $285,000 for a white family. A 2023 study by the National Association of Realtors indicates significant homeownership gaps across the state of Florida. The study found that while 75% of white Floridians own their homes, only 55% of Hispanic Floridians own a home, and only 49% of Black Floridians own a home. These numbers are a product of systemic deprivation of credit and wealth building opportunities. And this is why we are committed to confronting redlining. The resolution that we have secured here will provide the strong remedies necessary to promote racial justice and equity to underserved communities of color in Jacksonville. And I want to highlight one critical component. Under this agreement, Ameris will provide a $7.5 million loan subsidy fund to help borrowers in Jacksonville who live in underserved communities access home loans. This is transformative relief that will unlock the door to home ownership and intergenerational wealth for residents of communities of color here in Jacksonville. It's important that we're making this announcement here in the city of Jacksonville, a city that has a long history of civil rights advocacy. It was the home of James Weldon Johnson, renowned and accomplished civil rights activist, prolific writer, and former leader of the NAACP. It was also the site of civil rights protests dating all the way back to the early 20th century, where residents boldly organized and participated in protests and boycotts of the city's segregated streetcar system. Decades later, in the 1960s, Black protesters participated in lunch counter sit-ins, even at the risk of physical violence and abuse, including the infamous Axe Handle Saturday attack. I hope that this announcement builds on that proud tradition and fuels ongoing efforts to ensure full equity for all. We're sending a message today. Banks and mortgage companies need not wait for the Justice Department to come knocking at its door. We encourage financial institutions to proactively assess their redlining risk and immediately take corrective action to reach underserved communities in their market areas. We will not stand idly by while financial institutions avoid communities of color in their markets or erect barriers that make it harder for residents in underserved communities to receive lending opportunities. These communities have waited far too long for equal credit opportunity, and they are entitled to equal access to credit that the law demands now. Combating redlining is one of the most important strategies for ensuring
disability
equal opportunity today. By taking on the discriminatory lending practices of banks and mortgage companies, we're helping to ensure that more Black, Hispanic, and other communities of color are able to buy a home, generate wealth, and fulfill the American dream. This settlement marks a new pinnacle in our efforts to bring an end to redlining and provides tangible relief to communities that have been starved of access to credit for far too long. I want to thank colleagues in the Civil Rights Division of the Justice Department and here in the Middle District of Florida for their work and efforts. I also want to thank the City Teen Center for hosting us this morning. I'll now turn the floor over to U.S. Attorney Handberg to provide more information about our resolution with Ameris.
Thank you, Attorney General Garland and Assistant Attorney General Clark, for your remarks, as well as for being here today to announce this resolution with Ameris Bank.
Okay. I seem like I have
From the beginning, we've dreamed of creating a
seem like I have did some talking. You said a lot of them. It don't seem like this is I have rocked the boat. I'm sorry, guys. I'm started some shit.
Every person needs, like respect.
Good morning, everyone.
Okay. If we need to be specific.
The easiest way to show respect is to focus on the person, not the disability. It's okay. You'll get the hang of it.
One easy way to focus on the person is to watch the person signing, and not their interpreter.
We're their companion.
It's really cool that you'd like to help me. But do us both a favor and please ask me first. What you think might be helpful. I got you.
Oh no, I actually not.
If you'd like to offer me help, let me hold on to your elbow. Don't take mine.
Hey, you like to say mine?
Assistive devices help us to live our lives. They're really important and really personal.
Grabbing them only makes it weird for everyone.
Yeah, he's all done.
You done with your class?
Boy, come on, everything.
All right.
Got me fucked up. You going for this on your leg?
About for the
No, I'm talking about everything.
Helps me all the time. Neither of us would like it if we were separated. Remember, we make our own decisions. We sign documents, vote, volunteer, work, and pay taxes.
We get married.
So don't just because how they smile.
Just because I'm blind does not mean I'm deaf.
Just because I'm deaf doesn't mean I'm blind.
And just because I use a wheelchair doesn't mean that I can't sweep you off your feet.
So take a deep breath, relax. We don't fight.
Unless we're really hungry.
ladies. How are you?
And if you're not sure what to do, just ask.
Hey, would you like to see a menu?
Thanks. Can you please read it to me?
Sure, definitely.
Just treat us the way you would want to be treated, and we'll all be okay.
I love this video.
Morning, Alice.
Awkward no more. Nice job, Bob.
I just feel like in that environment, you're not. I worked at a factory in Irving. It was not like the regular people, like in a regular business. It was just, I don't know. I don't like those type of corporation that is not really the productive side like Walmart is. You know, you fit in a small thing, but
I feel so blessed.
you know,
Just live my life and help people.
what I saw in this video, when you don't get it in real life. I worked at a factory in a video like that, but it wasn't. It was just something different about it that I didn't like about the atmosphere, and you know, and how things was. You know, the productions.
And other people's lives. And that's where I realized it's okay to be different. Because once you embrace it, the entire world changes.
Even like the you know, I was feeling like I think it's not okay. I'll be okay.
I would have people treat me as if I wasn't really there, and I would have people treat me like they didn't want anything to do with me, and perhaps it's because they were scared. They didn't know any other response.
One of my favorite things is when I'm out in public and I have all my girls with me who are all upstairs, who are all gorgeous. And we literally love when we see heads just turn. Society doesn't correlate disability and being attractive. We are beautiful people. Everyone's beautiful in their own way, but we can be stylish, we can be gorgeous and stunning and fabulous, as I like to say, because yes, I see myself as being fabulous. Being a dancer, when I was a dancer, always a dancer, I didn't stop, so I would go out and I would get my booty on. And I was surprised from how guys would approach me and be like, hey, you're hot. And they wouldn't say, you're still hot. They would say, you're hot.
There is the black and white. There is the bad and there is the good. So as long as you're focusing on the good, then the bad just seems nothing.
Only given one night. And
I think I'm giving two. I got a million. Trust me. I don't think. I just don't. The world that we live. I just don't see it like that. I just don't see it like that. I don't. Maybe other states.
Cruz, himself a paraplegic via Skype. It's not just a matter of people with disabilities, you know, staying at home and collecting disability income. It's a matter of people who want to work, are not as easily able to find work. In a 2015 study, Cruz's research team submitted 6,000 fake online job applications for accounting positions. 1/3 said the applicant had a spinal cord injury. Another third Asperger's syndrome, and 1/3 did not mention a disability at all. The results?
People with disabilities were 26% less likely to get expressions of employer interest.
What's going on, you still?
There's a lot of discomfort with people with disabilities. I think apart from that, there's a lot of uncertainty. Oh, geez, someone with a spinal injury, I'm not sure they're going to fit in here.
They refer to it as fear of the unknown.
Mason and Larry co-authored the study.
How do I know if this person can do the job? How do I know the cost? So all of these unknowns ultimately compel an employer to express no hiring intent.
Even though the Americans with Disabilities Act bars such discrimination for firms with more than 15 employees. Nicole Ellis returned to the job market after the bank she worked at went bust. But she decided to leave off her resume the fact that she's legally blind due to ocular albinism.
I didn't think that I would be able to get my foot in the door.
It still took 3.5 years to land a job here at Liberty Resources, a Philadelphia nonprofit which promotes independent living for the disabled.
I would get the calls back. I would go in the interviews, and once you start discussing, because I have to let them know that I'm going to need these accommodations, like software that enlarges font or enhances speech recognition. So once you start talking about those things, it kind of becomes like dead silence almost.
Really?
And you can feel it. And then they'll give you some other scenarios as far as, well, what about, let's say, if it snows, are you going to be able to get into work?
But you can understand, or can you not understand, why an employer would be concerned about all this?
I do understand. But on the other hand, I've worked around people who do not have disabilities, who do not come to work, and who do not work. So, I mean, to me, I understand the doubt and the question, but we are discriminating just based on the what ifs of someone's disability.
William Doherty has a master's in public administration from the University of Pennsylvania and ataxia, a condition marked by a lack of muscle coordination.
The way that disability affects employment is more serious, more serious. My resume has all these gaps, and so I think the employer so bad makes me, like, why is this guy not been working?
So the gaps in your work history and the kinds of work you haven't done are kind of signals, you think?
No.
Doherty, like Ellis, also found work here at Liberty. Bill Krebs says employers have always underestimated him because of his intellectual disability.
At one time, it was DR, the guy with DR, means mentally retarded. So I was labeled with a mental retardation. My IQ is mild, so I was IQ of 70. When you live with a disability, it's like hitting a ditch in the Jews. They put a tattoo on your arm, and that stigma stays for the rest of your life.
So once you're stigmatized, then
that's it.
You're out of the game.
You're out of the game, no matter how hard you try.
Until he too found a niche at Liberty where disability is a commonplace. But what prompted this story is a second and more surprising finding of the Cruz and Mary research. Early results show that when they sent applications just for jobs in data entry and software development,
We found no evidence of discrimination.
Good.
None, at least not with the preliminary data.
And why might that be? We went looking for a case study in the real world and found one in Philadelphia at an accounting firm.
We make a concerted effort of going to universities, speaking to the people responsible for their students with disabilities.
Steve Howe is managing partner for EY Americas, formerly Ernst & Young.
We go with this that has that certification.
In a pilot program, it's pushing to hire more people with autism, a group that has had up until now an estimated and underemployment rate of between 70 and 90%. But, says Sam Briefer,
we all bring something to the table that a lot of people cannot. We are very detail oriented. We analyze things in a very specific way.
Briefer is one of 4 recent hires here with autism spectrum disorder.
There are others that are very more detail oriented than I am, and are much better with numbers.
Well, it's an accounting term, I guess. You're good with numbers.
It is. So it puts us all at a huge advantage.
But of course, people on the spectrum typically have trouble socializing, communicating, an obvious handicap. Were you nervous about taking?
I don't even think that's the problem.
I was.
You've been around the people that judge you, that not letting you scrape the
A
person.
lot of people at once, which is something that I always get stressed about. But knowing that I work independently a lot, makes me feel a lot better with where I'm detail oriented. We analyze things in a very specific way.
Reefer is one of 4 recent hires here with autism spectrum disorder.
There are others that are very more detail oriented than I am, and are much better with numbers.
Well, it's an accounting term, I guess. You're good with numbers.
It is. So it puts us all at a huge advantage.
But of course, people on the spectrum typically have trouble socializing, communicating, an obvious handicap. Were you nervous about taking the job?
I was, yes. I first thought that I would be communicating with a lot of people at once, which is something that I always get stressed about. But knowing that I work independently a lot, makes me feel a lot better with where I work.
When things do get stressful, EY brings in a job coach to help. The team's regular manager, Janelle Mitchell, got neurodiversity training ahead of time, but he's also learning on the job.
They're very specific and very clear, as opposed to possibly a neurotypical person that may try to slide in at 9:10. The folks that are on the spectrum will say, hey, I arrived at 9:02 today. I need to work until 6:02 today.
And your reaction to that?
Don't worry about the 2 minutes, we're okay.
A lot of people on the spectrum tend to be, at least initially, more rigid in some of their thinking.
But, says program participant Stan Wong, this form of rigidity has a major upside.
It also tends to make them want to be more honest. I think what would be the point of like lying about something or being deceptive?
Because you're more naturally just straightforward.
Yes.
Managing partner Cal recently gave the team behind the pilot program a Better Begins With You award. Well, thank you all very much. But look, this isn't about feel-good inclusivity so much as boosting the bottom line. Al hopes to leverage the special abilities he's seen in his workers with autism.
We've learned from technology companies like SAP, Microsoft, HP, who have hired people with these kind of skills. We think it's a rich talent pool, and we're going to expand this now from this exercise in Philadelphia to 3 or 4 other cities in the next year and scale this up.
And that means more job prospects for people on the spectrum, like Stan Wong.
No matter what kind of functionality a person may be, and everyone wants to be treated like a human being. Everybody deserves an opportunity.
And at long last, in certain jobs, they're getting one. But for those with disabilities who don't seem to provide a profit advantage, many still seem to be on their own.
Employers do not apply.
This is economics correspondent Paul Fallman reporting from Philadelphia.
I believe everybody, disabled or not, deserves a chance to make something of themselves. What I'm looking for as an employer is somebody who's motivated to work.
It's really important that people with disabilities.
I'm looking at the Texas HALSC. That's not really true. But those things don't actually happen like that. The
These are given a
behavior.
chance to work because they're so dedicated and they love their jobs and they love coming to work.
People have a choice of where they're going to spend their money. It could be for price, it could be for location or product, but it's also what the company stands for. So it's really important that businesses hire people that reflect the community.
It is good business to hire people with disabilities because it strengthens and adds diversity to a team.
Clarence is a courtesy clerk here, and he sacks customers' groceries, and then he takes them out to the car.
He just wants to help. He's that giving type person.
I'm a bagger. I sweep the stores and the floors. I've been full time. He's self-motivated and has a great work ethic. It tends to rub off on other employees as well.
He's worked for our company since 2008. We're very proud and appreciative to have Clarence on our team.
Clarence has exceptional customer service skills. He brings a smile to work every day, and he knows more people by name here than I do.
Cole is a shining example of somebody who loves his job and loves his work.
I like working at Home Depot because I like helping customers.
What's unique about Cole is his zest for wanting to figure out things and offer more and be able to solve problems for both customers and associates.
We have a Home Depot app where you can look up products and locations, and he does not hesitate to assist customers when they come in.
He almost knows the entire store like the back of his hand, so if I have a question, I have no problem going to him and getting the right answer.
There's been a few times that we've been out.
Oh, shit.
Getting the right answer.
There's been a few times that we've been out and I've had Cole with me, and people will come up and they're like, "Is this your son?" They've told me stories of how I was in Home Depot the other day, and he's just such a great worker.
I have good friends at work.
I can't thank Cole enough for being the guy that he is, and the attitude that he brings to the store. It just makes it enjoyable for everybody.
Customers have a lot going on in their lives and their day, and they come in here to get help for whatever need it may be, and that smile to kind of help them know that we're here to serve and here to take care of them is something that we spend a lot of time training our associates, but with Cole, it's an automatic every time.
He's a great employee, and there's not a lot that I have to do other than just encourage him, fill his tank, and let him know he's doing a great job.
Eric makes a friend out of everybody. Everybody he talks to loves him.
I like everybody.
The first time I met him, he told me I work all day and I work hard. And that is true. Eric is one of the hardest workers I've ever been around. He does everything with a smile and a positive attitude.
He's very positive. He comes into work with very high energy, and that energy transfers to our guests and to our employees.
That's something that warmed my heart to see that Eric
Maybe I felt like when I was in Walmart, this nobody didn't tell me that, but I felt like that when I worked. Nobody didn't tell me that, but I actually felt like that when I was in work. The customer
From
is
the state
always
level to
talk.
the local level to make sure that each one of our individuals is supported.
Employers find out it's an advantage to their business because it makes their customers understand they too are compassionate.
After watching Clarence work, I've gone ahead and hired several other people with disabilities and watched them grow with the company as well.
You're going to get an employee that wants to be there. You're going to get an employee that's going to show up on time. You're going to get an employee that's going to give you 100% every day that they show up. And they're going to make a positive impact on your company.
It's incredibly important for any business to reflect their community and give that individual a chance to show what they can really bring to the table.
It's a great opportunity for everyone. No one misses out.
Of babies.
He's running around screaming and hiding.
Traffic, parking.
No.
Oh. My personality won't fit into none of their personalities. Something I want is so much more. My mindset not like their mindset. The technique of it is not the same. And the Texas is not the same. She can, but it's not the same. so different. My universe is way different from your party.
No, that's not good. So I'd rather just do it on the computer, and when I'm finished, I can just go on and go.
I came in to apply for food stamps. Instead of filling out the big packet, I can immediately go online and immediately send it, and they will have it that day.
I came to the office to apply for Medicaid for me and my kids.
They don't actually work it. They don't be having computers and tech to work on. They don't be true.
And I like it because
And there's a
it's
video
on
in
the computer,
2013.
and you can apply. All the information is there, and you don't have to, wait in line. You don't have to get a number.
I was able to get food stamps actually very quickly.
And I'll do all my renewals online.
It's really not that hard at all.
All right. We're gonna go to something else.
It's really not that hard.
Opportunity.
बच्चों को क्या क्या हाँ बच्चों हाँ आप बताइए क्या माइक माइक दीजिए हाँ हाँ बोलिए बोलिए
My name is Tanya Sheikh from Athens Heights International School. बच्चे के तौर पे तो मैं ये कहूँगी कि my school is an inclusive school, तो मुझे अपने दोस्तों के साथ रहने का अनुभव है और मेरे स्कूल ने तो बहुत प्रोत्साहन दिया है इस बारे में। हमने बड़ी स्टूडेंट्स बड़ी टीचर्स रखे हैं इन बच्चों के लिए कि हम उन्हें सहायता नहीं पर उनके संग जीना सीखे और ना ही मैं सिर्फ उनके साथ उनकी मदद नहीं करती हूँ बल्कि वो मुझे मदद करते हैं। मेरी पेशेंस टॉलरेंस और ऐसे वैल्यूज में इस समय बच्चे के स्कूल लाइफ में ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, ये वैल्यूज सीखना और इस समय मैं ये सब वैल्यूज सीख सकती हूँ ना कि खुद एक अकेलेपन में रहकर बल्कि इन सब के साथ रहकर। तो
आप विकलांग नहीं है, आपको कोई डिसेबिलिटी नहीं है और आप ऐसे बच्चों के साथ पढ़ती हैं जो डिसेबल्ड हैं जो विकलांग हैं और आपको कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, तो उन सारे पेरेंट्स को आप क्या बोलेंगी जो ये डरते हैं कि भैया मेरा बच्चा जो है किसी विकलांग के साथ पढ़ेगा तो उसको कोई तकलीफ होगी, ऐसे किस्म के पेरेंट्स की सोच को आप क्या समझाएंगे?
उनको मैं एक बात कहूँगी कि जिंदगी मोहताज नहीं मंजिलों की, वक्त हर मंजिल दिखा देता है, हारता नहीं कोई परिस्थिति में आकर, विश्वास सबको जीना सिखा देता है।
You're a very smart girl, yeah. और काश मेरी अंदाज आप जैसी होती। That's very wonderful. Well said. Well said.
Whoa. I have a lot to do. I have a lot to do.
that policing consent decrees minimize costs, enhance transparency,
Sorry, my hair like this. I gotta comb and go get my hair put together. I'm too different. This aspect of it, there's some of them private grown systems want two different things in the universe itself. Some videos a long time ago, but I still have to understand the personality of it, understand the mindset of it. Understand the mindsets of it. I have to understand the mindsets of it.
It has given the Justice Department some of our most important tools to advance the promise of equal opportunity for justice for people with disabilities. The anniversary of the ADA gives us the opportunity to recognize and celebrate the enormous impact the law has had on the lives of people with disabilities and on our entire country. It also gives us an important opportunity to recognize the many barriers that remain, to recommit ourselves to breaking them down. We know that far too often, law enforcement officers are forced to respond to individuals experiencing challenges that do not have a law enforcement solution. This can contribute to significant harm to people experiencing mental health crises, as well as to the needless incarceration or
That's actually not true, because the humans antagonate it. I'm not that quite sure, the Attorney General. I'm not that quite sure what your humans are doing. Playing with the mindset, antagonating it. Your humans have not been truthful. You really think they're actually having a mental breakdown when other humans are playing the behavior of them, antagonating, intimidating?
institutionalization of such people. At the same time, it puts a great strain on the law enforcement officers who are forced to fill in the gap that community services have failed. The Justice Department is working to address these challenges through our enforcement of the ADA. Last month, we traveled to Minneapolis to announce the findings of our investigation to the city of Minneapolis and Minneapolis Police Department. During that investigation, we observed that although many behavioral health related calls for service did not require a police response, the city failed to provide a meaningful alternative. We also found examples of MPD officers escalating situations and using avoidable force against people with behavioral health disabilities. In so doing, the city and MPD discriminated against people with behavioral health disabilities providing emergency response services in violation of the ADA. We are now working closely with the city, MPD, and the community to develop a plan for addressing the problems identified in our findings. Earlier this year, we announced similar findings of ADA violations involving the Louisville Metro Police Department, the Louisville Jefferson County Metro Department. There too, we are working with local officials and community members to implement remedial measures. In addition to our enforcement actions, we are working with our partners across government to provide communities, law enforcement agencies with the support, technical assistance, and resources they need to more effectively care for people in crisis. In May of this year, the Justice Department, together with the Department of Health and Human Services, issued guidance for emergency responses to people with behavioral health or other disabilities. This guidance provides state and local officials with best practices for responding to crises experienced by people with disabilities. And on a slightly different but closely related subject, I wanted to let you know that the Justice Department will soon issue a notice of proposed rulemaking regarding website accessibility for people with disabilities. Indeed, depending on the day and time that someone pushes play on these recorded remarks, you may already know about that notice. For 33 years since the enactment of the ADA, our country has made important progress in fulfilling the promise of equal justice and equal opportunity for people with disabilities. And as today's program makes clear, we have much more work to do. And our job is to uphold the rule of law. That means we apply the same laws to everyone. There is not one set of laws for the powerful and another for the powerless, one for the rich and another for the poor, one for Democrats and another for Republicans, or different rules depending upon one's race, or ethnicity, or religion. Our job is to pursue justice without fear or favor. Is to pursue justice without fear or favor. A favor. Without fear or favor. A favor. What do you mean by favor? Or different rules depending upon one's race, or ethnicity, or religion. Our job is to pursue justice without fear or favor. I want to do on YouTube what you mean by that. There is not one set of laws for the powerful and another for the powerless, one for the rich and another for the poor, one for Democrats and another for Republicans, or different rules depending upon one's race, or ethnicity, or religion. Our job is to pursue justice without fear or favor. Without fear or favor. That gave me thinking. Who that was, you the man that talked
That's why I know what punchline, who you throw that at. That is the question. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, a favorite. I'm not gonna take that from on there. It seems like I got a lot to do and a lot of do. I really haven't felt like that. I don't think nobody really, not friends. I just dealt with Walmart and businesses, some business. I told you, Sabina never made me feel like that. So that's one of the things after each relationship, people never made me feel like that. But we still got much to do. Hmm. He made that video September. Trying to figure out something. Listening to the people that had me thinking, but I studied the personalities. You know, I'm so different from everyone. We ain't not the same. I mean, listening in this. Hmm, I got a lot to do. I got a lot to do, guys. I have a lot to do.